Okay, so following his sacking at the beginning of last week from the Daily Telegraph and Fox Sports, is Paul Kent's media career finally over? Now, this time last year, when he was suspended pending the outcome of his last court appearance for domestic assault allegations, and basically just he was charged with assault. I think 3 counts of it in total. I did a similar video, discussing the potential of his career being over then. Now, the Murdoch media group decided to reinstate him on NRL 360 and on his column at the Daily Telegraph. He was reinstated. It didn't last very long. Obviously, he was suspended on April the 27th, 28th. He was suspended again. And ultimately, they sacked him before he pled guilty at court to a fray last week. But even though he's no longer with Fox Sports and the Daily Telegraph, could he potentially resurrect his media career somewhere else, be it as an independent freelance journalist, on a podcast, on YouTube potentially, on another radio station, not Triple M of course, because he walked away from Triple M, or would any other media manager at a news outlet or website or TV station be going, there's too much baggage, and there was a catalogue of incidents before the domestic assault allegations and before the drunken brawl a few months ago, that there was a growing list of incidents involving Paul Kent, some of them actually at media launches. So there was the media launch for KO Sports, there was an altercation there was obviously what happened on Triple M, several incidents on Triple M involving Anthony Maroon and Mark Geyer, and so anyone wanting to employ him would look at that and go, there's controversy and having controversial opinions, and then there's all the baggage that comes with Paul Kent and the reputation of that news outlet or that radio station or that podcast going, do we really want to risk our reputation by hiring him? I think Paul Kent's burnt too many bridges at this point, not only with his colleagues within the media, but also with the players and the coaches and then the club officials. And it's the same with boxing. I think boxers would be a bit wary of potentially, giving that interview or doing a broadcast with him ex-boxers. I actually think he's really burnt his bridges both in the sports world and in the media world. I would find it highly surprising if another media outlet was to sign him up and employ him. I really would. And I always use the example of like Frank Boff here in the UK in the early 90s and Ron Atkinson in the 2000s here in the UK. They never resurrected their careers. I mean, Frank Boff tried, but he got sacked from the 2 biggest free-to-air networks in this country, and Ron Atkinson was sacked from the biggest sports network in this country. And I've used examples. Frank Boff, obviously the allegations about his private life that came out led to his sacking from the BBC. He resurrected his career briefly with ITV, and the same new allegations surfaced again of his sleaziness, was sacked, never got on our airwaves ever again. He's sadly now passed away. Ron Atkinson caught with that hot mic, making racial slurs off camera about Marcel Desailly, the then Chelsea Football Club captain. Sky Sports sacked him on the spot. Never came back on our airwaves ever again. There have been others as well, but they're the 2 examples that stick with me when I was growing up as a kid and as a teenager, being very sports mad in this country. Paul Kent is in another level because of all the off camera and dramas of a legal nature that he's had, and now he's had a guilty plea for a fray, even though he hasn't got a criminal record. He's got a conditional discharge, and there's a debate around that. I cannot see him being employed by anyone else. I do think his career is done. And he, even during his suspension last year, he was mentioning potentially leaving the media industry and going into the funeral home and limo driving business. He did give an interview to the Sydney Morning Herald stating that he was considering leaving journalism behind at that point 12 months ago. So we'll see what happens, but I don't think we see Paul Kent on our TV or radio stations ever again. I don't even think he gets on a podcast. I really don't. I don't think he appears on YouTube or on a podcast. I genuinely think his goose is cooked and his race is run as a journalist. But place your thoughts on whether Paul Kent's media career is completely done. There was a lot of people last year when I did a similar video when he was suspended last time who felt that potentially he could come back. There were others thinking he's damaged goods, there's too much baggage there. Now I do think there is far too much baggage there, and I think too many working relationships are broken for him to effectively do his job. So that's that from me for now. Thank you very much for watching. And as you've noticed, the beard has gone. I've decided to shave the beard off, and I will be doing a video on a channel update very, very shortly. We've hit another channel milestone overnight. But from me for now, thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll have some more content for you guys very, very soon.